Hi guys, welcome to my Flosstube. It is Sunday, the 16th of October. It's been 10 or 12 or 13 days since I last recorded, so I thought it was time I did one. I'm going to sneeze. Excuse me. Because been stirring up the dust everywhere. Been doing a bit of sorting out and tidying up. I've had yesterday off, today off, and I've got tomorrow off. That's 2 days off for last week and 1 day off for next week. 3 days off together is always nice. To earn my 3 days off together, I did 12 days on a trot. So I've done some stitching, but it's been one of those constant get up, get the kids ready, get them to school, go to work, come home, go to sleep, get up, get the kids ready, kind of 12 days. But I had a nice day yesterday, had a bit of a power down, did some stitching, and yeah, I'm off today, so I thought I'd get myself a Flosstube done. So you're very welcome here. My name is Emily, and every now and again I pop up and show you my stitching. And yeah, so I have got not one, but 2 finishes. One was a start and a finish yesterday. I'll show you her in a minute. I've got a Haid, a long dog, and 2 other pieces that I have worked on. So, stitching. What should I show you first? I'll show you my Haid. So, as some of you know, hello to any new people, I am stitching over the course of the next 10 years, supersized, maxed colour treasure hunt bookshelf, Amy Stewart, Haid. And I'm going to put a lovely big picture right in front of my face, which is probably a really good place to put it, of this, as it will look when it's finished. And then I will show you where I was last time I recorded this little screenshot from my last video where I was last time. And I've been working on, but I've put in, I'm at 5.52%. Now my aim for this Haid is to do 1% a month. So it is the 16th and I am on 0.52, so I'm probably about on track. I put 851 stitches in this morning because I found a lovely chunk of 939, which I promptly filled in completely. So I'll show you where I am right at the moment. So here we are. This is where I am. This is my big chunk of 939 and 310 that I put in this morning. And I then went back to filling in colours this side of this bubble, picking a colour, filling them in, and then putting in any little stitches where that colour showed on the space on my 11 by 11. Now that's the top edge there, and I started in this corner here. There is my corner, and there is that bit, and then there is a little bit that's filled below. So that is 5.52% as it is at the minute. So very, very long-term goal here, 1% a month on a 10-year plan. I'm assuming maybe 2 months of every year. I might not do any stitching on it. You know, I will fall behind at some point, which is why I've given myself the extra 2 months each year to get my 10% in. But I am in month 6 and I'm currently on track. This hasn't lost any interest for me yet. To do my 1% a month, I need to do 7,222 stitches. So it is quite a big goal for a month, but I mean, I put in 851 today, so that's what, over a tenth of it done today. There we go. I just love it. So I do need to fill in all these little gaps here. There's a few little bits here, and these are lots of different colours. The thing with a max colour is you get lots and lots of little ninja stitches, which are just ever so slightly different shade to the one next stitch next to it. But on this occasion, I thought, go for it. Just go for it. So I need to get this boat here and its sails in, and I think that's a little airship there. I need to get some more colours in around that. This bobbly thing here, completely finished, completely filled in. I was missing one colour, which I went and bought, and there was 6 stitches, just 6 stitches, but it was a colour from my master set that I did not own, so now it's in my set and now I have it. So there we go. Anyway, this is the start of the next little scene, I think, so I'm going to stop at this point and go back and try and fill in some of this, and every now and again I do a little bit of a burst and try and fill in some of this sky. So that's where I am right now. I'm going to give myself a few good seconds there so that I can screenshot that, ready for next Flosstube. And it will eventually, for people who don't stitch Hades and don't really know, it will fill this piece of fabric in about 9.5 years. Completely fill it full. I've given myself a nice margin. I've got literally a 5-6 inch margin all the way around, but other than that it's filling this fabric, and that's a very big piece of fabric. It's going to be stunning. So that's the only Hade I worked on this week, and next I'm going to show you, I made some progress on my Renato Parolin oval cushion thing. I can put quite a squint little picture here. I missed the screenshot and couldn't be bothered rolling it back. So I've actually done a little bit of progress, because right now I have another deer, all but a little bit in his back. I ran out of thread. I just had I had one length, so that was three strands, because I'm doing 2 over 2 on this piece of colonial blue straight Zweigart. I'm using Dinky Dye Mother of Pearl. That's probably quite a good representation of it. So I've pretty much stitched all of this deer, some of these birds, a little bit up here, the owl on his back, and I just need to fill in this little gap here, and then I think there's a bunny between his legs. But I am very, very almost 50% done, because there is another half of my oval cushion there. But for coverage, it's not that much stitching, it's just a case of doing it. Paper pattern, it's in my bag of, can't now not see my bag, my tablet's resting on the vinyl of the bag so it doesn't slip. It's in my bag of things to pick up when I fancy something different. And fancying something different, and it being nearly Halloween, last week I picked up my Emma Congdon Everything is Better with a Little Magic, which was in the World of Cross Stitching. No, it was in the Cross Stitcher, October 2021, so I've had this a year. And it was just here before. And what I did, and this is on a piece of, I think it's 20 count, I don't think it's 18, navy blue Zweigart Ada. And as you can see, I've done the bottom half of the magic letters, which was just a couple of hours of an afternoon. Just sitting doing that, which was lovely. Again, working from a paper pattern takes a little bit longer time for me. Had to find a pen to mark it off, and you know. So with it being Halloween, that's the one I pulled to work on as a nod to Halloween. Only I think it's going to be marvellous when it's done. And I'm doing it 2 strands because it's dark and it's quite, I felt it needed to really pop, so it's quite thick through. I'm pretty sure, looking at my treasure hunt bookshelf, which is also 20 count, which is partly why it's so enormous, because I like to do my Hades on 20 count, 1 strand over 1. So this is 20 count, 2 strands on Ada. So I worked on that, and it will look like this when it's finished. So as you can see, I've just put this bottom bit here and these little sweeties. That's all I've done. I've got a good long way to go, but it is lovely, and the colours in it are just marvellous. I just love it. So I reached a kind of goalie milestone on my Long Dog Sampler opening gambit. I am at 79.75%, so I am nearly 80%, very nearly. It looked like this the last time I recorded, And my little bit of milestoney is I have found the bottom corner. I have 3 corners in now. There it is. I have 20% left to finish. I've done the hand, I've filled in some of the pawns at the bottom, and I've just got a thread there on the dragon, which is there. So that's my opening gambit, and I have 20% left to go. Every now and again I have a little burst. I think I put in a couple of percent this time. I just sat down, had a really good go at it, put in a good, probably 6 strands of thread. This is on a piece of, I believe it is 28 count. It's a Bee Stitch Me fabric, and it is called Berry Cobbler, and it's a crystal, and you can see it sparkling. I find it absolutely no difference but stitching on the crystal than stitching on the ordinary non-sparkly fabric. To me it just glides just the same, and I'm using DMC 3808, which is one of my favourite colours. So there we go, 2 strands over 2, and I'm almost 80%, and I've just got that bit, and there's my bottom corner in place. Now, anyone who uses Facebook and is a Long Dog Sampler person possibly follows Jules's page, Long Dog Samplers, the proper page, not the Facebook group, which we all post in a lot. Well, I don't actually post in it that much, but she's been going through showing people's finishes, and she showed my Sans Souci, which I would show you, but it's in the box under my tablet. But I can put a screenshot up here, and she showed it, because she showed a beautiful one that somebody had done, stitched beautifully monochromatically, dark thread on a light fabric. And then the next day she showed mine, which mine looks like it's been sick, basically. The rainbow was sick on mine. But I did that very quickly. Flosstubes 5, 6, 7, 8 maybe. Right down at the bottom of my playlist will be me motoring through what I did. But it was really nice to get a shout out from Jules, which is always, you know, it's always nice. So go, if you haven't seen it, go along to her Facebook page and scroll down a bit. She's been showcasing lots of very good finishes. Most of them are beautifully framed. Mine is just like still not framed. Still have a bit of an issue because I basically ran out of fabric. You know, the whole margin thing? Yeah, I had 1 stitch left at the bottom of mine. I really should just pull it out of my box and show you, but never mind. Anyway, that was quite nice, because Jules is lovely, and it was always nice to get a little shout out. So, yesterday, I'll show you this. My first finish, Barbara Anna, Sailing Dreams. I don't need to show you what it looks like finished. I can show you where I was last time I recorded, just here, and I can show you my finish. Ooh, I'll put my magazine behind that. There we go. There is my finish. She is done completely. Backstitch, all done. Charted colours. Absolutely charted colours. Couple of mistakes. These are a little bit in the wrong place, but yeah, perfectly happy with her. She's lovely. The only thing I changed up, I can't account for what's happening downstairs. Sounds like a drill. I changed the very dark blue because it was the same colour as my piece of navy blue even weave, which I think is probably 32 count, 36 count maybe. They're quite small little crosses. And I just did 939 instead of just these tiny little bits of navy blue. And it's her eyelashes as well, just so it wasn't quite the same colour as the Ada. But there she is, she's all done. I'm very happy with her. She's very lovely. And that makes 2 Dreaming Girls finished. Now, I kind of made a deal with myself, which I probably didn't say to you guys, that if I wanted to stitch another Dreaming Girl, I needed to finish the 2 I had started. And I finished my original Dreaming Girl, which now I'm kind of kicking myself that I didn't just stitch charted colours. I wombled all my colours and it's come out very, very nice, but very muted, whereas her charted colours are very vibrant and I like them very much. So I'm wondering if I should have just gone charted. Never mind, it's done. I can no longer find the PDF. I have it stored somewhere, but I can no longer find the PDF, so it's not like I'm not going to stitch her again. And I love the fabric I stitched her on. And then yesterday I started, well, technically Friday night I put about 12 stitches in, and then yesterday I finished off Cosmic Dreams, and bless her, she was only 1821 stitches. So yeah, I can do that in a day if I want to when I'm not working. So my Cosmic Dreams is here. I finished her at midnight last night. She is there, she is glorious, and she is tiny. She's tiny. Yes, this is a piece of 32 count that I've hand dyed, so it's probably might even be a piece of 36 count. I think it's 32 count I've hand dyed, so it's probably about 34 count now, because once you've dyed it and ironed it and dyed it and ironed it and over dyed it, it gets smaller and smaller and smaller. But look at her, isn't she fabulous? And she was tiny. As soon as I stitched the first little bit here, I thought, crikey, she's tiny. I was a bit worried she wasn't going to fit on this strip of fabric, and she really has. She really has fitted on very well, very nicely. Isn't she lovely? I dyed this, was a piece of Colonial Blue, and I've ever so slightly mottled it up. You can see the quite subtle mottle with a navy blue Dylon standard dye, the sort we can get in the UK anywhere. There she is. I'm having a bit of trouble with the sunshine now. There. So I now have 3 Dreaming Girls finished. I think she needs to go in a hoop. I think she needs to be round. I do have a square. I'll see if my little square frame will fit her. I've got a pretty square frame that I bought thinking it was a 6-inch and it was a 5-inch. So she might go in that. But my goal for the next Flosstube is to have framed my 3 Dreaming Girls. Let's see if I can manage to get that done. I've got frames for all of them. Let's see if I can actually just do it. So that's everything. It's not very long today. Quick catch up. Next week I don't have any Dreaming Girls to stitch on. I might put my Everything's Better with Magic, with a little magic, in this frame here, because she doesn't need to be in there. I only left her in there so I could show you. And this is how I deal with little bits of fabric, just in case you're a new stitcher and you've not come across before. If you ever get a little bit of fabric that doesn't fit in, I use 11 by 11s. That's my thing. That's what I like. Unless I extend them and make them long, they've still only got 11-inch sides. And everything I tend to stitch tends to be an 11 by 11. So if my piece of fabric isn't big enough to be held, I simply stitch on waste fabric. This was an old sweatshirt, so it's jersey. It's a bit stretchy, but it's got a nice weight to it. I just stitch on waste fabric on the sides, and that means you can clamp it in and work on a much smaller piece of fabric without having it slack. I like to stitch drum tight because I stitch 2 hands, right hand on top, left hand turning and poking back. That's how I stitch. So I like to have a nice drum tight surface to stitch on. Cosmic Dreams, finished. Sailing Dreams, finished. Original Dreaming Girl, finished. That's 2 whips from my whip pile out of the way, and a naughty start and finish, but it was only 1800 stitches. If you like this one, it is a lovely one to start. It's a lovely one to start with. She's not too big. You don't need a big piece of fabric. There aren't that many colours in her. She's got 2, 3, touched it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. It's only got 15 colours. So I think that's not a lot of ZMC. Any little scrap of fabric. The patterns, literally, if you want the patterns, Barbara Anna patterns sell at creativepoppy.com. All PDFs, easy peasy to buy and access and download. Just don't lose your PDFs like I do. I can never remember which device they're on, where they're stored. I'm hopeless. I need to go through all the old computers in the house with a portable drive and literally put everything on it that I have, because I've got PDFs everywhere. Anyway, I'm going to jump off. This is only going to be 32 minutes long, probably. 22. I can't even read. It's written. I've got my time written right there, and it appears I can't manage it. Thank you very much for watching, and I will get on and get stitching. I'm going to not stitch on my Dreaming Girl. I'm going to do a bit more on my opening gambit. I'm going to hopefully get nearer my goal on this. Life's better, everything's better with a little bit of magic, and see what else I fancy. Have a rootle in my random bag and see what I fancy from the pieces I pulled. But from the pieces I pulled, I've already finished 2 of them, so it seems to be working. And then there was that start and finish, which, never mind, these things happen. And I finished it. It's not like I've added a whip. I added one and then the next day finished it. So I'm going to chug on, keep going, and we'll see where we get. And I don't know if I'm going to do any other full coverage at the moment. I'm really taken with my bookshelf, and I'm wondering if I might only stitch on my treasure hunt bookshelf in November. I'm thinking of maybe going for a bonus percentage point, maybe, for November. It'll make it boring on the Flosstubes, but I think maybe I might just only stitch on that and one thing in the car, say opening gambit in the car, and nothing else. I just really want to try and put a big bite into it. We'll see. So in other news, I am sorting out my conservatory, which is going to be my craft space now, and Maddie's art table, which is in there, has a glass top, which if anyone does mess about with polymer clay, Fimo, you need glass. So I have a glass top table now, which is very good, and I have an awful lot of eyeballs. A lot of dragon eyeballs and some little pinky ones. So I'm thinking of, I've gone and dropped it. Of course I've dropped it because it was right there. I was thinking of getting on and making another big batch of my dragon eye needle minders. That's a particularly nice one, which is why I kept it. But I have an awful lot of them. Awful lot of Fimo. I might just see if I can make a batch of them, and then once I've got a batch of them, I only need to magnet them, and I have an awful lot of magnets, and then I can get them up on my shop. So we'll see how I manage. My plans are there, the plans are good. I don't get around to things very often, but I'm going to try. Right guys, I will see you soon. Everybody take care. Hope everybody's fine. I'm fine, my people are all fine, and we chug along. And thank you for watching. I'll see you soon. Bye bye.